So I was filming some shorts or some TikToks, reels, shorter things today, and I realized I've not really done any longer form content. So I wanted to kind of talk a little bit today about the importance of getting started or some strategies to get started. I notice a lot for myself and from other people that when there's something we want to do or a goal that we have, a goal we're working towards, that sometimes our biggest challenge is just getting started. So, we know what steps to take, we know what things we need to do. We sometimes don't have any problem doing the things once we actually get started. So, I don't think that there's any one surefire way to be able to get started, meaning there isn't something that is going to work 100% of the time, as far as I know, and far as my experience and from working with other people. But one thing that might be helpful is to set aside time on your schedule or your calendar every day to work towards that goal, but make it a really short period of time. You don't want to do the to-do list thing necessarily, because to-do lists are great, but they can also be kind of hit or miss. For a lot of folks, it's better to have something actually on your calendar scheduled, and bonus points are even better if you can name it. So give that block of time a name. It could be dream time, goal time, go time. It could be, I don't know, I'm not super witty or clever. Something that's going to make you excited and remind you about why you're doing what you're doing. So you might put that time on your calendar, and it doesn't have to be a long amount of time. It's really just an amount of time that makes sense for you. So that could be 5 minutes. While admittedly I feel like that's a very, very, very short bit of time, we all have to start somewhere. So if it's 5 minutes, go for the 5 minutes. If it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever works for you. The important thing is that you schedule it, you name it, and that you make it an amount of time that you know that you can consistently show up for. And this is not to say that things don't come up in life that might kind of derail us a little bit, but you want to make it an amount of time that you know if most things go according to plan, you can show up for it. And then show up for it and work towards that goal, whether that's you doing some research, whether that's you free writing, whether that's you scheduling out text messages to go out to people, making phone calls, kind of further narrowing down the action steps you need to take. Whatever it is, you're going to spend that 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes doing that particular thing. The other thing to note here is that even if you start but you're not able to get through the entire amount of time that you set aside, you will still be making progress. So say you plan to do 20 minutes, but then you sat down to do your 20 minutes, and 10 minutes in, you remember that there was something you had to do and there's a deadline you need to leave to go do that thing. Well, go do it. Or maybe you sit down and then you realize, oh my goodness, I haven't eaten, or you're not feeling well, whatever. Start and do as much as you can, and then take care of whatever is more urgent that you need to take care of at the time. But make sure that you're not kind of coming up with reasons or excuses to take you away from the thing that you actually need to be working on, or the thing that you actually want to be working on. Another thing that can be super helpful is to have some form of accountability, whether that's a friend, a coworker, a mentor. Maybe you do one of the online platforms like what is it called, Flow Club or Focusmate or something like that, where you're kind of doing co-working sessions or body doubling so that you have someone to work through things with. Having some form of accountability, or someone who's going to ask about what you're doing and how much progress you've made and what you've done and kind of where you are with things, can be just it can be a game changer for a lot of people. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying about getting started. Sometimes just having someone next to you or some kind of support behind you, someone who's literally willing to stand there with you or sit there with you as you're working towards the thing you want to work towards, can be incredibly helpful. So just a couple of things: accountability, setting aside scheduled time, and I guess the third thing would be making it a realistic amount of time for you. So forget what everyone else is doing. If what you can do is 10 minutes a day, then that's where we're starting with that 10 minutes a day. And your job is to show up. Just show up and do the best you can during that time. If you're someone where scheduling is a big challenge for you, especially when you don't have that accountability in place, whenever you think about the thing that you need to do, literally set a timer, like an egg timer if you have one, would be preferable to the timer on your phone. But if you don't have that, set the timer for 10 minutes and just work on it right then. Work on it for the 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you have, and try to find time to do that every day or every time you think about it. Let me do 10 minutes right now. Let me, do 15 minutes right now, and just make sure that you have what you need to work on those things whenever it comes to you. So I hope that helps someone. So an airplane was going by and I was trying to rush to finish at the end of the video, and I didn't like it. So essentially what I was saying, hopefully what I went over was helpful for you. If you'd like to hear more, please follow me. I do mostly short things, but I'm gonna try to start doing some longer content as well. I'm on the platforms, not on Instagram, but I am on TikTok. And I also have an accountability group called Lightwork Lab. That information will be in the description box below, I think is how you say it. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope it was something helpful in there for you, and I will try to share more.